Women of the Channel Leadership Network. I'm Jackie Rives, your community leader, and welcome to another Woman of the Week. This week, I'm very excited to get to know Hillary Watkins, Manager, Partner Enablement with Eaton. Hi, Hillary. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Jackie. It's so great to be here. It's so great to actually talk with you in person outside of the Women of the Channel event. So great to be here.
Yes, and I'm so excited to get to know you and, of course, celebrate you as our Woman of the Week. So let's start
Thank
off with
you.
those icebreaker questions. Where do you live and where did you grow up if that's different?
I live in a small town called Marion, North Carolina. It is right outside of Asheville. So I live in the mountains of Western North Carolina.
Mm.
It's beautiful here. It's really, really beautiful. Grew up here and lived here most of my life, except for when I went to school in Tennessee at the University of Tennessee. Go Vols.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Asheville is beautiful.
it
We did
is.
a trip there at Christmas time at the
Ah,
Biltmore
the
and yes, all the
Biltmore,
things.
so gorgeous. Christmas, so gorgeous. It's so
Yeah,
gorgeous all the time.
I bet. All right. What is a little known fact about you that you're willing to share with, just a
Um,
few of my friends here?
just a few friends. So at the age of 29, I decided I wanted to learn to play drums. So I play drums.
That. I love that.
Such a random. My
No,
husband is a
that's so
drummer, and
fun.
yeah, he taught me. So I played in a little all-girl band for a little while, but yeah, we it was fun.
That sounds so fun. I love that. And that you have an instructor at home. That's even better.
I do, yeah. And thankfully
Yeah.
his rates are not too high. He's just around.
I love it. That's such a cool little known fact. See, never too old to take up a new skill. I love it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, let's dive more into your career and maybe tell us a little bit about your career path and how you reached the position you're in with Eaton.
Sure, yeah. It's an interesting path. It's not a linear path. It is
Okay.
it's like the game Shoots and Ladders. I keep telling people it's like it's just all over the place, right? Started out when I went to college, my intention was to be a veterinarian and realized pretty quickly I am way too emotionally attached to animals for that to be a good profession. So went the opposite way into advertising. So did advertising there, worked in advertising after college, um, decided to go back and get my MBA. And I met one of my closest friends and best mentors ever in the MBA program. And he said, if you ever see a job posting for Eaton, you should apply. So I did.
Um,
Um, I worked in customer service for a few years, moved into an engineering role after that, worked in engineering for a few years, left Eaton briefly to go into marketing, which was kind of the goal all along, and
mhm.
then came back to Eaton to manage our inside sales partner enablement team. So it's been an
That
interesting path. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I love that. It kind of reminded me of when the Channel East and our closing keynoter who was like, you never know what that next conversation's going to bring. And it's like meeting someone in your MBA program and like, having conversations and meeting and then
Yep.
saying yes. And that's pretty cool. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, what is the most important risk you took and why?
I'd say taking that technical position. That was a huge
Yeah.
risk for me because it was, we all have these pivotal moments where you look back on it and you think, had I not done this, it would have gone this other way. And that was a moment where I really took a big chance. And the manager that I was working for was taking a big chance as well. I wasn't technically trained in school. I wasn't, I had
Hmm.
technical aptitude, but I had to prove myself in that. And it was probably one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, but it was also the most rewarding because the number of skills that I learned, patience, sitting on a call with somebody who's working in a grain elevator in the middle of cornfield and, wherever, and then you're helping them troubleshoot that and you hear it click on and you hear the relief and you're like, wow, I I helped him do that. That was amazing. Um, but it understanding that the way that you learn technical skills helped me better get prepared for what I was going to do later on. And that was working in sales and working in marketing. It was a huge risk to go that direction, and
Mm-hmm.
forever grateful that I
So,
did it.
yeah, it sounds out like it really paid off and helped probably shape, like you said, more skills, but maybe even the
Hmm.
leader that, kind of help shape what kind of leader you would be.
Hmm.
And I always love when people are telling me stories about how they've had like these different, whether they're customer facing roles or not, behind the
Hmm.
scenes, and kind of getting the bigger picture of how things work all around instead of just being in that kind of silo of what their expertise is.
Yeah.
Uh, it always
Yeah.
makes for more rounded person.
Yes. Yeah.
And I love that you said that you were very nervous about it and it was a big risk.
Hmm.
Like when you said that you had engineering in your when you were talking about your career, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I hopefully she's going to share more on this because I did not see it going that way. So that's
It's
awesome.
pretty, yeah, it's interesting too because Eaton is really focused on development of the employees. So
Mm-hmm.
having a manager who says, okay, where do you want to go in your career? And how can I help you get to that point? Maybe you're not going to be an engineer forever, and that's fine. But there's something from this role that you're going to take away from it that you're going to be able to use later on. And while I may not have been the person that stayed in the role for 15 years or whatever, I think he recognized that that was a good development plan for me. And, my
Mm-hmm.
husband always says you got to find comfort in the discomfort. And I'm like, well, I just find some comfort and comfort. That's fine too. But, you know,
Yes.
but
Sound advice, but yes, I
yes,
can relate.
yeah. But, taking those risks, it stretches you, right? It makes you better prepared for the things that you're going to tackle later on. And it helps you think
Hmm.
about things in a different way.
Yeah. All right. So you just named several things that I could just shout off on characteristics that you possess as an effective leader, but why don't you share the ones are important to you?
Sure. I think empathy is a big one.
Mm, yeah.
We did the Discovery Insights with our team, and I lead with green, which is your empathy. That's kind of the thing that I like to use to set me apart. I had a friend that told me one time that we're all born with a gift, and that my gift was making people feel safe and making them feel comfortable. And I can go into a grocery store and somebody's going to tell me their life story. They might hug me. I don't know. It's happened, which maybe I need to find a new grocery store, but whatever. It's no, I think it's a good thing to make feel people feel comfortable, to understand where they want to go, to understand what makes them happy. We spend a lot of our times at work, or a lot of our time of our lives at work, and just making sure that you're doing what
Mm,
you want to be doing is important. And having a leader who gets that is probably what is my favorite characteristic.
yeah. No, that resonates. I love that. All right, we have time for one more. So, how do you, amongst all these things that you've already shared,
Hmm.
how do you differentiate yourself?
Um, to bring it back to the drums, natural
Okay.
curiosity. Yeah, it's something that,
Yes.
yeah, you have to kind of be willing to ask why. I have a sticker on my
Mm,
monitor that says why, because if you can ask why and understand the why, you can figure out how you're going to go about the how in a million different ways. So, understanding motivations, understanding um, what needs to happen, how everything is kind of connected, understanding those sorts of questions, I think is what makes me
hmm.
most differentiated. And just having the experience that is such a broad, not linear experience is something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is, helped me along the way to make connections, to understand how things work in a different way. And I've just been very, very lucky to have had that. So those are the things I think that make me different.
Oh, I would agree with you. From the very little time that we had together, and I hope we get to have more time in the future. Hillary, it was an absolute joy getting to know you, and we are so grateful that you are sharing a little bit of your story with us and allowing us to celebrate you as our woman of the week.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This has been wonderful. So much fun.
Yes, for me too. I hate it when they end, but they must, but that doesn't mean it ends forever. So I would say to the community members, comment, give your high fives, share your insights. I know that Hillary would love that.
Yes.
And until next time, have an amazing week.